Hey guys, welcome. I hope you are well. I hope you are having a lovely day. I hope you can hear me well also. If you can't hear me, let me know. So, I've got several applications open here, several cameras. So, if you see me looking there and there, don't worry about it. It's just like I'm trying to look at everybody. So, here I've got Instagram. Hi guys. Here I've got Facebook, and here I've got YouTube. Hey. Trying to maximize right my time and energy. Okay, so um I hope we are having a lovely new week. It's a Tuesday today. So oh my goodness, I don't know. I think my lighting is not great on the Facebook side, so I hope that you can see me well. I'm just gonna try and okay, hopefully the light is gonna get better. I hope so. Now, we are going to be talking about a subject that is quite controversial, maybe, let me say, but it is what it is. We need to discuss it. It's important. It is a quite a critical thing, I think, because as women, we are made to take care of a lot. And this subject is going to talk about us doing what we are good at, which is taking care of things. But then the only problem is that sometimes we do sacrifice ourselves way too much than we should. And when we do that, we then kill ourselves, kill our spirit, kill our energy, kill this power that we are, which is a power to take care of so much. And then we end up not being effective. We end up being not being efficient. We end up not being what we want to be, or do the stuff that we do best, which is taking care of everybody and making sure that the world continues to survive. Because really, without women, the world will not function. And I know that might sound wrong, but it's true. Okay, so we're talking about toxic masculine energy. Women that are functioning in their toxic masculine energy. So you might be functioning from this energy. Now you're just gonna have to just take a little bit of notes and then go and look at it if really this is something that is an issue in your life. And if it is, then start the journey to fixing it and knowing at least what things you can look at when you are fixing this problem or this issue. Okay, so let me just explain a little bit what is masculine energy. Masculine energy is that energy of doing, getting things done. Masculine energy is that energy of finding a solution for everything. Sorry, guys. Oh, my nose, and I've been having this sinus issue that does not want to let go of me, even if now it's almost summer. It's just not going away, but hopefully soon it will. Now, we are all having two bigger size energies that we function with. And the two leading ones is the masculine energy and the feminine energy. So men have it, women have it. Now, how much you have depends a little bit on it differs with people. There are men with more feminine than masculine. There are women with more masculine than feminine. It's not a problem depending on how you are made up and what you are made for. You will have differences in those energies. And then there are people that are just good, amazing people that have got like a nice balance, which is again like they got the good deal of having those energies balanced nicely, because then the more your energies are balanced, the better life is going to be for you. Okay, so then it happens then that you have one that is leading, which is fine if it's leading in a healthy way. But then sometimes you have, and I'm going to talk a little bit about, and this happens to males and females, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about females in this instance, and I will touch up a little bit on males that have a toxic masculine energy, but I'm just going to talk a little bit more on women, because women don't think it's an issue. Men sometimes they do notice and they do try to balance it out. But women normally never notices when they have got toxic masculinity, and they just think this is normal, and it's not normal, because you are killing yourself literally daily, and you're gonna have cancer at the end of it. You're gonna have issues that you don't deserve at the end of it, because you killing yourself using this energy over, because you are not made to function in that way. Okay, now masculine energy is that energy of doing things, getting things done, getting stuff sorted, looking for solutions, making things happen. And then feminine energy is that energy of creating, is that energy of holding things in a safer space. It is that sacred energy that we do when we have a new goal, and nobody has seen you prosper, nobody has understood your idea. Feminine energy is that energy that says, I will do it until it works. So it's that energy when nobody is looking. You are working on these things in your corner, in at the backstage. And then masculine energy is when you are in front of people. Now you are delivering. So when you start in your business, everything starts with feminine energy. You start there when it's just a thought in your mind, and then you go through all the processes of saying, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna plan for it, I'm gonna let it happen, I'm going to push, I'm going to go and knock on these doors. So right there, you are using your feminine energy. And then once you get to a part where then you are launching, the day you launch your business, then you change from feminine to masculine. Now, when you're launching, then now things need to happen, things needs to move, things needs to run in a certain way. So that is why all of us need the feminine, and we need the masculine. So normally, I mean, one institution that was made to handle these two was marriage. When you are married, the wife is the one that can keep these ideas and nourish them, and ask from guides, ask from God, how are we supposed to go about this? We've got this idea, how are we supposed to? She inquires, she gets the information, she brings it up, she counsels her husband, she literally tells him, go do this. When the husband has to go and meet investors, she goes with him, she sits there, she listens, she says, this one is the right one, this one he is not good. So, and then the wife is taking care of the sacred part of this project. And then when the project launches that day, then the husband's take over now, and then he does the masculine side. He makes things happen. He doesn't sleep at night. He comes back at night. He's doing all the things to make sure that the money comes in. But the concept of how the idea got to grow was given all the energy by the wife that was doing the praying, all these things. So you probably get it right now. So, and I'm not saying that if you are not having a partner or you're not married, you can't do the stuff. No, you can just do it all by yourself. It's not an issue. I was just giving you an example why mostly men win when they have a wife, because men normally don't connect that great to their feminine energy. So they need a woman that has a little bit more feminine energy to make these things happen. And women normally don't have much of the masculine energy, so they need a man to sort of like go around and do the stuff that has to do with touch and feel. But again, that is just an example that you probably don't have to think about too much, because it can limit you, and you don't have to be limited by that. And that is why there are people that can stand in the gap for you for those things. So if you are a woman and now you are in the stage of implementing, you can get a coach that can help you activate your masculine energy so that you are able to launch things the way you need to launch it. And if you're a guy, you can get a woman that can hold space for you in terms of conception of the idea. I mean, there's a lot of male clients that I have that I hold the space for them, and I help them to conceptualize things. And the weirdest thing, right, is that, I mean, almost every male client that I've ever worked with, that I'm helping them conceptualize something, they just get it so easily. I don't know. It's just like men don't make a big deal out of this. So like they just have that feminine energy that is pushing them and saying, yes, you are right, you can make it, I believe in you. I mean, literally, that's all I need to say most times to my male clients. To just be like, yeah, I believe in you, like, get it done. And then he goes and he does everything, and he comes back, he's like, yeah, now I've made 3 million. Like, okay, good, very well, wow, nice. So I guess because they don't see it as a big issue. Men, when they have a feminine energy that is supporting them in that conception phase, they are receiving easily. They receive that help and they use it quickly, and then it's good and done. So I'm not saying that you must go there and marry somebody. And you said what Lucy said, I must marry somebody to succeed. I did not say that. I did not say that. I said find a coach that can help you through that process. That's what I said. Other than that, I mean, if you do want to get married, I'm happy, do that. But I'm not saying do it just because you want to get success. And everybody who does it for that reason, normally it ends in tears. So don't do it for that reason. Once you are there, then it's good. But this not then like makes excuses for things that are not right. Okay. All right. So now we have then so again, if you're a woman and you are good, women, I work with women a lot, all the time. Women are good with coming up with brilliant ideas, but most women never ever you see them shining out there, taking their idea and implementing it. So a woman will have this amazing idea, a woman will have this multi-million rent idea, but when it's time for her to believe in herself and to put it out there, she doesn't move. She's just like, oh, well, I don't think there's enough security in this. I don't think it will work. You know, I'd rather just sit here in my job. But men, when a man gets an idea, they really, really honor an idea. And then they like, okay, fine, I'm leaving my job today and I'm going to make it happen. You know, like, because like I said, once they find somebody who can hold the space for them, they sort of take it easy and move with it. But for us, when we have to go into our healthy masculine energy of implementing stuff, we totally, most of the times struggle a lot with that part. Okay, so I was just giving you a breakdown of the masculine energy and the feminine energy, how they work when they are working in a better situation, in a much acceptable situation. So now hi Catherine. Catherine says, I'm happy I caught the live. Yes, thank you so much for joining us. Now, if a woman then is functioning from her toxic masculine energy, then what happens? So now, most of these women that have that experience life in this way, it is because when they were young, they had to take care of themselves way too young. So normally they did not get to have a proper session of being a child and being a teenager, a young adult, and they did not get to grow up. They were pushed into stages that they did not have to be in. And then what happened is that they missed a few steps in terms of their emotional growth. So I'll give you myself as an example. Of course, I was had to when I lost my parents, I was so young. So 6 years, and then I don't have parents anymore. My father is alive, but he's like, I'm not doing this. And then my mother is not alive at all. And then now, all the days of my life since that day, I had to think for my own survival. So now, and there were people who were taking care of me, really, they were taking good care of me. But remember, the fact that I don't have a person who's standing in the gap for a mother. I have somebody who's helping that a position, but I don't have that mother there. So I needed that one. So I have people who were replacing the father function, but I didn't have a father there in front of me. So now that space was open, and every child needs a mother and a father, or at all ages of their lives, they will have to go and fix that gap. So most of us who did not have the chance of fixing that gap, and we are fixing it now, we see these gaps in manifesting in different ways. So when you did not grow up, like the last live I was doing, I was talking about people and growing up emotionally, and I wasn't talking about emotional intelligence. I was talking about growing up emotionally, that when these kind of things happen earlier in your life and you are not given the chance to grow up, you miss stages, and then when you are an adult, things come back and you still have to fix that stage. So now you get to grow up quickly, or maybe you don't have the support of these fatherly and motherly energy in the correct amount, in the correct doses. Now, normally, when you are a woman, then you are going to go quickly into your masculine. And masculine energy is that energy of saying, I need to take care of myself. So you start that whole thing of, I need to take care of myself. And most of the times, you then forget that there is help out there. You think you are the help. So everywhere you go, you want to be in charge, because remember, your masculine energy now is in a much higher dose. So you want to be in charge. You want to prove to everybody that you can do it. You need to prove to everybody that you are the right person. You need to prove to everybody that you are successful. You need to prove to everybody that you cannot fail. You need to prove, like, literally, you are trying to be everything to everyone all the time. So then you find that at work, let's just start by school. You are the one who gets all the good marks. Even if, I mean, I was in a position one from grade 1 to 12. Literally, I remember once it happened in standard 5 that there was a boy during the June exams that was number 1 and I was number 2. I almost died. I almost died. I couldn't handle it. That how can I not be position 1? Remember, I was functioning now in this masculine energy that I have to be first. I needed to prove to me and everybody alive that me, I can do it. And I mean, I was literally 12 years old and I was functioning in my masculine energy, and it was getting toxic by the day. Okay, so it was June. I couldn't handle being position 2. I couldn't sleep at night thinking about the fact that how can that boy be position 1 and I'm not. And so then, of course, in December, I went back to my position 1. I was position 1 till grade 12. So guess what? In tertiary, I will do all the crazy stuff with everybody, but I passed all my modules in time and I passed, amazing. And I got my qualification, and I was great because I could not understand that failure is a possibility. Failure will kill me quicker than anything. Okay? Then go to the workplace. Again, at work, if I wasn't winning, I wouldn't find peace. If I wasn't the best employee, if I wasn't the best what. So, and of course, you can just imagine, in all things, I had to be number 1. In all things, I had to be. And I mean, today, these women still come to me and say, I am going to hold on to this until it works, because I cannot let it go, because then people will say I failed. At work, they will do everything. They will go all the toxic routes to just make sure that they are winning. They can't handle not winning, because winning reminds them of where they have been. Not winning reminds them of where they didn't get the love, to say, oh, things are not working as they're supposed to be, and it's okay. I can change routes, people now that's the thing, that like people with that masculine energy, they can't change roots. I'm in a relationship, we have to make it work. What will people say? Like, oh my goodness, I can't. So you just hold on and you want to make it work. You buy a car you can't afford. You want to make sure it happens. You buy a house you can't afford. You do all sorts of crazy stuff to keep it. You can't downgrade. I mean, when I got into 40 million rent debt, I had to downgrade. That was probably the most thing. It was the worst. How I got to 30 million was just that masculine energy that is toxic in me that kept pushing by all means. I was like, I'm going to prove to people that I didn't leave my job to start a business to fail. And then guess what? One day I was in 40 million rent and I messed up my whole entire family because of the Lerato. I feel like I've been dragged, dragged in the thing, in the mud. So, well, I mean, I'm just talking about stuff that I am myself, Lerato, you know. So, but then the thing is this, there's nothing wrong with winning. But when you have the toxic masculine energy functioning from that place, you end up hurting and breaking yourself way more than you should, because you don't know when to stop. You just cannot let go. You can't surrender. You can't accept. You can't change route. You know, the route must be changed when you want it to be changed. You cannot hear God. You cannot understand when it's time to say, okay, this is enough. Okay, so you missed out on the biggest and most valuable things in your life. You missed out on help. You miss out on, most of the times when things have to change in our lives, they are mostly changing for good. But when you are in your toxic masculine, you don't want the change to happen, because for you, you are interpreting it as failure. And it's not failure, it's just change for better. But of course, when things are changing, they look like they're falling apart, but actually they're falling into place. We've seen it over and over in our lives, that it will look like something is going wrong, but actually it's just getting better. So you don't want to, you hang on to that job for dear life. The job is toxic, they're not paying you enough, it's not working, but you just wanna make it work at all cost. But then what is happening is that you are killing yourself, you are killing your soul. Come 45, you are exhausted and you have nothing to show. Come 40 years, you are exhausted and you have nothing to show, because you totally closed every door that was for helping you. And you said, I am going to make it happen by myself. I am going to. I mean, I can tell you most of the things that I wanted to happen by myself. By the time they were happening, I was so exhausted, I wasn't able to enjoy them. And the things that I literally allowed my manifestation energy to work on to achieve them from that feminine energy, they came so easily. I enjoy them, and they are so huge and big. I cannot even understand how they happened. But of course, I need to pray for myself so much to say, hey, can I get into my feminine energy? Can I get into my feminine energy? Can I get into my feminine energy? So that I can be able to receive, so that I can be able to take help, so that I can be able to let things come out of me, not me fighting them all the way. So when you are working from that toxic masculine, we call it toxic masculine because you are overdoing everything. You hurt yourself. You find yourself fixing people. I have fixed people in this planet. And I thank the Lord that, wow, I totally now have given up on fixing humans. I do not do that. I don't do that. But there was a time when I was fixing people. And the problem about fixing people is that you fix people, you fix people, you fix people. And when you're done fixing them, they actually said, you know what, Rachel, I didn't ask for this. Most of the times you are going to cry for the fact that when you are trying to fix this person and this person does not appreciate it, they don't see it as they just like, oh my goodness, You have been telling me what to do all my life. You have been trying to control me. I mean, you could be paying for your sister's child education, and then they just keep failing and failing and failing. And then one day they tell you, ah, man, actually, I didn't want to do this. I was just making you happy. So you will find people who start to talk to you and say, if I'm doing it, I'm just doing it for you to make you happy, because you are toxic. You are toxic. You are pushing them to do stuff they don't want to do. You want people to show up a certain way. You want them to behave a certain way. You want them to do things. I mean, I can tell you stories like, you could be wanting people to stay in a certain house and they don't want to stay there, but you are pushing, because remember, you about all that winning, all that showing up, that I have the house, I have the car. There are people who don't care about those houses and those cars. Only you care about them, but you're pushing them to get that. There are people who don't care about a certain salary. There are people who don't care about being in debt. And you are pushing them all the way and you're saying, you must, you must, you must, you must. So, again, another amazing trait of that toxic masculinity is you waiting on people to change. You're waiting for your boss to change. You're waiting for your kids to change. You have no idea how many women are trying to get their kids to be certain way. No, you can't. You gave, the moment that person came out of your body, it's over. It's over, because if you die at that moment, this person is going to continue living their life without any issues. Of course, they will have issues because we are not there and what, but they will survive. I'm one of them. Look at me. I don't look like I'm that much of a mess in life. But they will get their chance to find the help they need, and they will heal and they will be okay. So the moment you have given birth to them, you cannot control their lives. You cannot make them be anything other than what they are here to be. So when you come out of that toxic masculine energy, you mind your own business. You stop thinking about who is doing what, who is not doing what, who I need to compete with, who is better than me today, who I need to fix, who needs to be like this. You then say to people, those who are willing to join me will join me. Those who aren't joining me, I will love them wherever they are, and I will move on with my life the way I need to move on. So you do not try by all means to make things be perfect. So once you let go, guess what happens? Now help starts coming to you. This is when you are able now to attract what you deserve, what is worthy of you. You start to attract what you need. Because remember, God puts in our heart desires. God's put in our heart these things that are important to us. But then God also says, I've put you here. I know what you need. I'm going to make your heart want it. But if you are going to be the one who's standing in the way of God now bringing it to you, what are you trying to say? If your parent goes and buys mealy meal and rice and meat, and then when they get home, you don't allow them to cook it for you, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a whole lot of food in the house without having a meal. So a lot of times we wanna then say, oh, don't worry, I'll make it happen. So that is what toxic masculinity does. We wanna make it happen, but then we actually mess up the whole thing. Other than being there and saying, I am willing to receive, I have asked for this thing, I will let it happen the way it needs to happen. I will let it happen the way it should happen. So I'm not going to control the process. I'm not going to push by all means to make it work. I'm going to say, if it's going to work, it's going to work by itself. So there is a big level of letting go that you need to go through when you are letting go of that toxic masculinity. There is a big chunk of and surrendering that you need to be in. So the whole point of a woman being pregnant is that when the time for the baby to be born, she needs to cancel herself in terms of who she is. She needs to be all about the project of the baby being born. So you cannot still hold your. I mean, there are people who go through it and I mean, okay, now you could have your makeup and you can have all sorts of things. I mean, look like you are having fun, but it's not fun. It's a lot of surrendering. It's a lot of forgetting yourself. You don't you screaming. You're forgetting to look nice. You're forgetting to act nice. You totally forgot about everything. You surrender to the process of bringing this life to earth. So that is how we're supposed to be when we are manifesting things. You can't control how the baby comes out. You can't control when the baby comes out. You have to let it go. You can't say, I now want my baby on a Tuesday. But like I'm saying, now you can say, I want my baby on a Tuesday, and you can get your baby on a Tuesday. But in the normal things, how things will work, the baby will come when it wants to come, the baby will come the way it wants to come. You can't control that process. So that is why surrendering is so important. Now, when we don't surrender, we hurt ourselves because you can kill the baby if you don't want to surrender. That is what I was saying, that when a woman is in their toxic masculinity, they kill their biggest manifestations because they want to control it, because they want it to happen a certain way, because this must be in place, this must be in place, I can't. So even sometimes you think that, oh, that I can't do this, I can't do. No, you need to relax and let things happen as they have to, because all you need to do is to hold that desire. This is what I want. And again, you might just be wanting things that are not in part of your journey, and you don't want to change, because and changing now changes your plan. So of course, we all are here to, on a daily basis, heal from things. And the more energy we put into healing, the better. The more energy we put into finding these things that can be hindrances to our success, the better. So we have to put in work on these things on a daily basis. And if you're noticing that you are sometimes functioning from your toxic masculine energy, well, now that you know, work on it, fix it, connect a little bit more with your feminine energy. I mean, for a long time, I now, of course, can notice how much I functioned on, like I was telling you the examples earlier, how much I functioned on my toxic masculine energy. And I remember my biggest change was one time, literally, God told me to work on my sacral chakra. And I was thinking, oh, well, sacral chakra is woman stuff and this and that. Well, anyway, it's not going to kill me. And then I started working on that. And that is probably when my whole entire life changed. I literally found myself in a beauty contest, something that I will never do. I mean, my masculine energy was so high. I was that person who goes and do I'm a boot camp, like literal stuff that is so masculine, because I needed to feed on that masculine energy. And then I found myself in a beauty contest, a whole entire beauty contest, Mrs. South Africa. And I was thinking, what the hell did I land in here? Of course, the Lord was just making sure that I get enough dose of that feminine energy that's going to literally change my whole entire life. Okay, that process did a lot for me. And I am so glad that, I mean, of course, I was rolling my eyes the whole entire time. I mean, but it planted a good seed that I was able to take along. And then after that, I started to work on this feminine energy and worked on this feminine energy. I mean, today I can really say my masculine energy is serving me, because I know when to tap into my feminine energy. And as much as it's so uncomfortable for me to step into my feminine energy, it's still uncomfortable. I mean, I play golf, and golf just like makes it worse. When I'm at the golf course, I'm one of the boys, and we are just being boys, literally boys the whole day. But it's not a bad thing being boys with the boys, because, well, like, for once at the golf course, I don't have to be a woman. Nobody cares. Actually, most of them look at me and be like, no, actually, you look like a woman. Like, and then they start talking, and they're like, damn, you're not. So, but I can take my toxic masculinity to go off. And I can do all the things that boys do there, and I feel comforted that okay, I still have it in me. I still can be competitive. I mean, I compete today. I compete about every part, about every shot, about every stance. There's enough stuff for me to compete with at golf, and when I'm done, I can be like, okay, fine, that was it. Thank you, Jesus. Now I'm done with all that masculine energy is put into place, and then I can come back and be masculine, be a feminine, somebody that can manifest stuff. I mean, I have manifested way more things in trying every day to be a feminine person. That sounds wrong again, right? It sounds totally wrong. Okay. But of course, like I'm saying, it's not it's not something that I am built to do well, but it's something that I have to pay attention to. So I do pay attention, and I get into my feminine energy, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm doing so well, and it's so amazing for me to see myself doing it. And I manifest the stuff that I want. I do manifest the things that I want, and it saves everybody well. So somebody says you can pack away the toxic masculinity. You How funny. No, of course, Riho. I have to. I have to. You know what? Because it's not serving all the time. It's not giving the right vibes all the time. There are times when I just need to let it go. And it's not easy. And I know everybody who's watching now and who has that a lot of masculine energy and that had to learn to function in their masculine energy because of a whole lot of stuff can say to me, you know what? Actually, this whole thing of being feminine is hard work. I know it is hard work. Hence, you have to make a plan. You have to find a way to deal with it. So this weekend we are having our San Pedro sacred ceremony. It's Sunday. San Pedro is a father plant, and San Pedro is probably one of also the plant medicine that have helped me to fix my masculine energy. Because the thing about San Pedro is that it takes you into that father environment where you have a father that can take care of you. So you don't have to take care of yourself. You don't have to always be trying to take care of yourself because now you have a father. And of course, there's two types of women. There's one that go into I'm looking for somebody to take care of me out there, and you just go into self-sabotage mode because you're looking for somebody to take care of you, and nobody wants to do that. Nobody's got time to take care of anybody in this world. Nobody. If there is somebody who's taking care of you, they of course are getting way more than you should be giving to them. But and of course you're selling your soul. Okay, it's fine. If you have to, I'm not saying anything about that. But the other part of a woman that I've seen a lot is the one that then tries to take care of herself and other people. And like you literally are taking care of way too much than you need to. So when you can have that masculine energy or father energy fill up that part of you that wants to do too much, you stop doing too much. I mean, the first ever San Pedro I took, I came back and I was like, damn, actually I do too much around here. And that was the beginning of all things going wrong in my life. Right? But I I had never realized, sorry guys, how much I was doing way more than I should be doing. And it was through a San Pedro sacred ceremony. And I've done a whole lot of them, of course, because I had to train to be able to facilitate the process myself. So if you do have this toxic masculinity that is just like way up there and making you do crazy stuff, do come through this Sunday. We're gonna be in Pretoria. We're gonna be at the Fericlan what is it called? Nature Reserve. Yes, Nature Reserve. And we're starting at 8 until about 5. It's a whole day process. We take the plant medicine, and we go through a whole process of being okay with the Father energy taking care of us. So Sempretto helps you to find your reason for doing things, a good reason for doing things, but also you feel that the planet is taking care of you. The planet is supporting you. You feel a support energy. You feel, especially if you have a lot of anxiety around stuff, you start to feel accepted. You start to feel like you have a space in this world, and you connect a little bit more with your purpose. You are no longer scared of your purpose. You're no longer doing things because you have to. You do things because they are important to you. So, and of course, if you have any addictions, you find yourself overeating or having, drinking out of the norm, or doing bad stuff to yourself like sex and all sorts of stuff that is not just good for you. Not taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, all in all these important things that you are not doing for yourself, but you want to do, but you're not able to do. Remember, you feel not supported. So come through, join us. It is quite a tough process, though, I must say. Well, if you have masculine energy, it's not tougher than ayahuasca. All of us, we have the masculine energy. Think San Pedro is better. It's not actually, like, truly speaking, it's not. Ayahuasca is probably better, but it's not. But in any case, what is hard, what is not. We just want to heal. We just want to find a better way of living this in this planet. So come through if you can have the time. Check my Instagram. I've posted about it. Other than that, just send me an Instagram messaging, or send me inbox, or whatever you need to do. I'll also put in the number here that you can send a WhatsApp to. Join us Sunday morning. We're starting at 8. We're finishing around about 4 5. It's in Pretoria. We have a lot of people that fly from. We're gonna have people from the UK. We're gonna have people from Joburg, of course, Cape Town and Devon are coming through this Sunday. So make sure that you just make the time to do something a little bit about this toxic masculine energy that is ruining a whole lot of stuff for you when you are not allowing yourself to receive, when you're not allowing yourself to make life easy for you, and you want to fight each and every little thing. So let me take the questions. I see a whole lot of questions, guys. And you know what? Sometimes I don't see this pop up because of the application I'm using here. So the ones that I do see, let me answer them. Faith says, how do you tap into your feminine energy? An example, please. Okay, so Faith, let's give you a quick example of how to tap into your feminine energy. So feminine energy, remember, I said it's about that manifesting in a creation mode, where you take something that is so small and something that is so insignificant and you make it big. But finally, you are not doing the hard work. You are creating it. You are letting it grow by itself. You are just there to be the incubator. So think, when you are receiving a baby in your womb, that baby comes in as, like, you can't even touch how small it is. And then you become the incubator. And this baby grows, and then until 9 months, it comes with a big head. So stepping into your feminine energy says that you can receive an idea from the universe. You can receive an idea from God. That has to do with your purpose, your calling, whatever that you are here for. And you can let that thing grow and then manifest in it bigger, something that people can touch and feel, without you breaking your neck or killing yourself or getting cancer out of it. That is an example. Portia says, you have hit a nerve, pussy. I need to work on my feminine energy. Oh yeah, so do we all, Portia. Tembelita says, I seriously need the feminine energy because, wow, the masculine is not doing me any good sometimes. Oh, I know that story, Chantal. I know it. Regina says, what can one do if you're trying to engage your feminine energy, but because your partner is so used to your masculine energy, they feel that you don't want to have way Regina, 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 Regina. Ha! Bona. We teach people how they should teach us. And in that case, since you've asked the question, Regina, normally you will attract a partner that wants the mother that you can be. So when your partner says, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me, they are just saying, I need my mother. And when, of course, your masculine energy says you can do all things and you can be everything to everybody, you then say, oh no, don't worry, me, I'll be your mother. I'll fix you. So when you're not fixing them, they throw tantrums, of course. They're like, oh, hell no. I was here. The whole arrangement was for you to gain the joy from helping me and for me to gain the joy from being helped by you. Now, this is not like how we set it up. So two things might happen when you start to tap into your feminine energy. They might grow up. They might be like, oh no, now I noticed. Oh my goodness, I've not done my growing up. And then they can grow up. Or you can say, you know what? I have been this and now I don't want to be it anymore. And then you can let them be and you can be. So normally then you will have that separation when you walk your journey, they walk their journey. And of course, one of the most important thing that a toxic masculine somebody will do is to say, now we are going to level up. Put on your pants, let's level up. Then you're forcing them through the process. Now, remember, we can never be ready for anything, but when we are ready to do something, we will do it. But normally, when you are in your toxic masculine, you're going to connect better with people who are also in their toxic whatever. So the toxic and the toxic work together until somebody says, "Man, I'm no longer wanting to do this like this." Then it's now a whole new story. It's a whole new change of plans. So that is the part where I said to you, Richana, things will fall apart. But then when you are ready to change because you are tired, this has been going on forever, then you will allow them to fall apart. But if you are not ready yet, you will then hold on to this and you will continue feeding the toxic part of you and then feeding the toxic part of them. And then maybe we don't know what will happen later. Sometimes you get tired when you are 50. Sometimes they will get tired. And sometimes also in this case, the men can wake up before the woman. And I've seen it's so painful for most of the women that the men wake up. And then when he wakes up, he's like, oh no, I don't need a mother anymore. I know I'm a man. Okay, fine. Thank you so much for helping me. And then he goes and he finds his amazing slave queen to take care of because now he's a man, he can take care of stuff. Because when you are still away sleeping, most he can't take care of you. Most when you are a man, most of course. I mean, what are you expecting him to do? And of course, for men, it's easy for them to change. So from once he grows up, he's just like, okay, fine, you masculine, I can't do it this anymore. And then he just lets you know that he can't do this, and then he moves out of it. So for women, it's normally very hard because being a mother is like a calling. So not mothering is like, oh, I want to mother this person. So yeah, I always hope that the growing up happens at the same time. I always hope that in your case, Richana, you can wake up and he can wake up at the same time so that, both of you can just get into the new setup. But if one wakes up before the other, well, things might go a little bit pear-shaped. So your question is that how do you engage him? Because now you are realizing that the masculine energy, you're tired of doing this. Now he is saying, now you don't want to help me. Now you are letting me down. That is the whole thing, that when birds are nesting their young ones, when it's time for the young ones to fly, they just take apart the nest, and then boom, everybody must fly before they hit the ground. So sometimes God allows these things to happen so that we can be put in the deep end, and then if we swim, we swim. If we don't, we don't. But most normally, when things fall apart, they fall apart at the right time. And of course, it's not a nice thing for that nest to be just like, sorry, there's no more nest, find your way. So you might have to do that to them. It's good for them, it's good for you, it's good for the planet. Okay, I don't see most questions. I don't know in the Facebook side. I can't even see much there. So, but then I think I probably have answered the questions that I can see, guys. I've answered. If there's a question you have, you can send me an inbox, or you can send a WhatsApp on 061 221 5867. 061 221 5867. You can send a question there, or you can send me on any of the platforms a message. But if you want to come through for Sunday, please make sure that you book in time so that you can get the process to prepare. The plant medicine needs you to prepare. There are processes that you need to do. At least give yourself 3 days to prepare for the medicine, and have enough time to ask, what is it that you want to see shift. And when you give yourself enough time to prepare for the process, you actually get more out of it. So I always say you have to respect the medicine and prepare in time so that the medicine can give you the most. So you have things that maybe you find yourself not taking care of yourself. You promise yourself, I'm going to do this, and you don't like, you're not doing it. I'm going to start a business, you're not starting it. I'm going to do this, you're not doing it. Those are the things that you want to put as a really important intention, and prepare yourself to receive around those areas of what you need. So it's important for you to take enough time to prepare for the process. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And make sure that you click, you like, you subscribe, so that you can see these videos when I do post them. I normally don't know when I post them, so it just happens whenever it happens. So if you have liked or subscribed, you will see the notifications when this happens. Thank you so much, and have a lovely, lovely, lovely day. Goodbye.